Many Monarch Money review videos only talk about the positives, but after using the service for a while, you notice that although everything is great as a whole, there are some potential pain points. So for this Monarch Money app review, I'll emphasize both the pros and the cons of this service to give you a more balanced overview of what this budgeting app actually offers. Let's start with pricing. Monarch Money keeps things pretty simple here. Technically, there are two plans, Core and Plus. But unlike with other budgeting apps, you're not dealing with a huge variety of confusing tiers and feature comparisons. If you want simple budgeting for beginners, the Core plan will totally cover your needs. Meanwhile, Plus adds more advanced planning and investment-focused tools if you want to take your finances even further. The main decision really comes down to whether you want those extra long-term finance features and whether you want to pay monthly or annually. Personally, I went with the annual plan because it offers better long-term savings. And best of all, Monarch Money has a no-nonsense 7-day free trial if you'd like to test drive it before signing up for the long term. Just hit the link in the description below if you want to test out the Monarch Money app like I did in this video. When it comes to drawbacks, the problem is that there's no free version of the Monarch Money budgeting app. This might be an issue for some people who don't want their budgeting service to become another expense on top of everything else. On the other hand, Monarch Money is subscription-based because it doesn't sell your personal data or show you ads. And this is great because data about your financial situation is extremely valuable to threat actors. Alright, now it's time for a Monarch app review from the setup perspective. Another one of Monarch's strengths is how quickly it turns scattered finances into one clean dashboard. You can connect practically everything: checking accounts, savings, credit cards, loans, investments, and mortgages too. The setup is straightforward and doesn't take too long. And once that's done, the Monarch app will import and categorize everything automatically. You won't have to do anything manually anymore, which is why so many people consider Monarch one of the best budgeting apps. So now you can finally delete that spreadsheet you use to track your finances. However, if you do want to take a more hands-on approach with Monarch, you can do so with custom rules. With these, you can automate transaction management by setting up how Monarch should behave in certain situations through an if this, then that lens. Here are a few examples of how you can apply this. Let's say you work from home pretty often. In that case, you could allocate your electricity bill across different categories, like 70% utilities and 30% work expenses. Another option is to label expenses from specific grocery stores into different budgets than just generic groceries. Maybe you go to Whole Foods strictly for food, while Best Buy is where you get various gadgets, which can be marked as entertainment. You can see the full extent of Monarch's customization capabilities by getting a 7-day free trial through the link below. You'll also get a great discount on the premium plan if you decide to stick around. When it comes to cons, I have to point out that the initial setup might take some time if you have many financial accounts across different banks and brokerages. Don't be surprised if the whole process takes roughly 15 to 20 minutes before everything looks clean. Another drawback is that Monarch Money is lacking in terms of investment tracking. It works well enough for simple investments, but active traders, especially crypto enthusiasts, might find the integrations and analytics too basic. It's more of a financial overview tool than a professional investment platform. So, not exactly the best budgeting app for the next Wolf of Wall Street. A definite highlight of Monarch Money is its range of budgeting options. First, there's flex budgeting, which is a more realistic way of calculating. Instead of juggling a mountain of different categories for every little thing, you split everything into just 3 buckets: fixed expenses, non-monthly costs, and flexible spending. That way, you're not overwhelming yourself with micromanagement. On the other hand, Monarch Money supports traditional budgeting too, if you want to go more granular. With this approach, you can set strict budgeting limits on any number of categories, perfect for detail-oriented adults with lots of financial responsibilities. Whichever budgeting philosophy you prefer, everything is made easy with the simple and intuitive user interface. As for cons, well, honestly, I struggle to come up with any nitpicks. The budgeting system feels well balanced for both beginners and advanced users, so budgeting with Monarch Money can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be. Of course, your personal finance needs might be different, which is why you should try Monarch Money for yourself using the link below. You'll also get a massive discount if you decide that it's the right fit for your long-term financial needs. Obviously, you can't have a budgeting app without tools for setting goals and saving money. Monarch Money is no exception, and it makes saving for emergency funds, vacations, large purchases, or other plans extremely easy. But this simplicity is also a potential limitation. Users looking for highly detailed or advanced wealth planning tools may want something deeper. Moving on, one of my favorite Monarch Money features is shared finances. It's honestly one of the best budgeting apps for couples, and here are a few reasons why. For one, it makes a clear distinction between your own, your partner's, and your shared finances. That means you don't lose your independence even if you want to collaborate on some financial decisions. How it works is that both of you get separate logins, but you can access the same shared dashboard to review your individual and joint accounts. From here, you can track household expenses together while keeping your personal spending separate. This balance feels more realistic than apps that assume all money should be fully merged or split. Unsurprisingly, Monarch Money comes with a bunch of other tools that you'd expect to find in a shared budgeting service. For example, you can mark transactions to be reviewed by your partner. You can also split certain expenses between yourselves or create shared savings goals where you can make contributions while keeping money in separate accounts. So, if you want to take your shared finances to the next level, visit the link below to test out Monarch Money or sign up with a massive discount. Now, although shared finances are great in theory, having the finances of two people bundled in one dashboard can feel overwhelming at first. And this is especially apparent if both of you connect a lot of different accounts. So most likely it will take some effort to organize everything properly. Okay, fancy features aside, is Monarch Money safe? Well, it uses strong industry standard security practices to keep everything in check. It's powered by trusted connection providers like Plaid and Finicity to avoid storing your banking credentials directly. With tokenization, Monarch Money accesses your financial data without ever seeing your actual passwords. Moreover, since Monarch Money is subscription-based, it doesn't need to monetize your data through ads. This is confirmed in the provider's privacy policy. And while Monarch Money has some AI features in the app, they're implemented responsibly. Your financial data isn't used to train the models, they simply review your financials and then give you a few insights and summaries. Plus, everything is encrypted at rest and in transit, meaning unauthorized outsiders can't intercept your data. And don't forget to enable two-factor authentication and use a strong password to keep all your finances safe. But there's always a but in this Monarch Money review. All of this security requires a high level of trust in the platform. At the end of the day, you're still connecting all your finances in one place, which makes it attractive to threat actors. And that is enough to make some people second-guess the entire premise of an all-in-one budgeting app. So is Monarch Money worth it? Overall, it feels less like a traditional budgeting app and more like a comprehensive financial management system that automates much of everyday money tracking. It has some drawbacks for sure, but no real red flags that would make it unworthy of your attention. And that's it for me in this Monarch Money review. Thanks for watching. Remember that you can try it out for free using the link in the description. Catch you later.